Martin, how are you? Nice to see you again, sir. Well, that's very funny.
Thank you.
Really nice, and you do terrific work on the show. And, thanks for coming back. In addition to stuff like that, you do some people, not famous characters, but characters that you have invented. Ed Grimley?
Ed Grimley is a character that I do, kind of a visual character. He kind of talks like this, you know, and his hair is up. You really have to have the whole visual.
But now his hair is up. I mean, it's way up, isn't it?
It's stuck up this high. Yeah. It's that concept of when in doubt, go big and physical, and don't worry about the words.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you ever know anybody with his hair way up there? What is
No, well, actually, but you find that you get these characters from people you know. There was a guy who used to live below my brother named Craig Stubing, and he was kind of an 80s screamer. He was an 80s screamer. He was a designer, really. And it's not so, it's more of a wine 80s, you know, the kind of stereotypical screamer of the 60s that Jonathan Winters did, for example, is out. You know, now it's more whiny, it's more tired, exhausted. I'm sorry, I just have problems with it generally. I mean, that's the general attitude. I was once passing his apartment. He lived below my brother, and this is truthful. He was a designer, and he used his apartment as an office, and I heard him screaming on the phone. He was angry, and he had said, "I had ordered a Peggy Lee White. Now what the hell goes here?"
A Peggy Lee White.
Yeah. So I took that voice completely and did it on stage in Second City. Yeah. And actually, I used to do a routine as a hairdresser. Actually, you can help me with this.
Oh, goody.
When I point to you, you say you're kidding.
Okay.
So he's doing someone's hair and he's saying, "You know, I know Liz Taylor personally."
You're kidding.
Absolutely. I remember in 1968 when she and Dickie were staying at the King Eddie Hotel, I did Liz's makeup.
You're kidding.
I wouldn't lie. I remember this one day, I was doing Liz's eyes, and they really are violet, too. And Dickie kind of came bursting into the hotel room, and the two of them got into the most vitriolic argument I have ever seen. I mean, I literally freaked out. And they shoved me into a washroom with a bottle of scotch. I remember it vividly. And in 15 minutes, I drank the bottle, got drunk, and sobered up again. I mean, I was literally freaking out. But one day I was doing that on stage, and I looked, and the guy, whose name I will not say, was
the actual guy.
The actual guy, whose voice was clearly, no exaggeration of this, was sitting right there. So I quickly went from that to saying that Liz Taylor is so dynamic because she has this power over people. I looked down and said, you know, she's a really good broad. And changed. It didn't get any laughs, but I didn't get punched out.
Oh, that's good. You don't know if the guy was flattered, offended, you don't care.
No, not really. Well, I mean, it was his voice. I mean, he can't deny that that's the way he spoke.
We have to go away for a commercial, Martin, and we'll be right back to continue this. Thank you for being here. Martin Short is here. Where does that begin if you're doing an impersonation of a person?
Well, it's tricky. If you want to do, I did Jerry Lewis on one of the shows, and the young kid Lewis was, you know, I had that from a long time ago. But the hardest thing was getting the today Lewis, and I found that once I cracked the laugh, and I would listen to the laugh, and finally I realized that it was kind of a variation of London Lee's laugh, but it wasn't. It was more. So then once you get, you know, the thing is that they're afraid of a perfectionist, the studios. And if a Jerry Lewis ain't going to get a distribution deal because of some fakakta 12-year-old with the pimples on his face who's head of the studio this week, who doesn't know from Hardly Working or The Errand Boy or whatever, who only knows from Eva Braun with the big Verhoeven or the airplane crashing through the thing. Where is a Jerry Lewis supposed to find the love and the caring and the feeling and the good and the nice? And even if you do, it's not the good kind because of the variation of the different thing.
Now, we have some videotape of you doing somebody that, I guess if you thought about it, it would become apparent that sooner or later people would be doing him. But I guess you were the first one to actually do this man, huh?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
All right, this would be...
It's a Tang commercial.
A Tang commercial, and do you want to tell them who you're doing, or just let them be pleasantly surprised?
If they don't find out, then it was...
Okay, let's just... We'll roll it, and what the hell.
Yeah.
All right, this is, once again, Mr. Martin Short, a scene from a recent SCTV television program.
We asked Robin Williams if he could tell the difference between...
One giant step for mankind, one small step for Will Chamberlain.
Speed me up, Captain Kirk, speed me up!
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Right on the money.
Oh.
Tell me about, now, what is the status of the program now?
Well, I guess SCTV is canceled. It's not going to be on at 12:30 to 2 on NBC. That we know. Mm-hmm. It'll probably be moved to 4:30 to 6 on Sunday, opposite Catholic Mass. That seems to be the.
Now there must be another life for this program, don't you think?
No, there are certain. I mean, there are discussions going on about different people interested in doing the show, and I think that we'd like to do a movie together. Everyone gets along so great, and they've known each other for so many years, and it's such a good working situation that I don't think anyone wants it to end, you know. Yeah. And.
But you can't say at this time what's going on.
Well, no, nothing's really resolved. Right now I'm just hanging out.
Down here cleaning fish. Well, you're certainly a terrific addition to an already great cast, and you know, good luck with everything, Martin, and thank you very much for being here again.
Thank you, David.
Mr. Martin Short, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.